Okay, I've got a piece of advice. Actually, I've got two pieces of advice for the young whippersnappers watching. The first one is, when you're a young fella, make sure you learn how to weld. Because when you get to be an old, middle-aged bloke like me, you'll have lots of rusty old toys, and you'll save a fortune if you know how to weld. Unfortunately, I don't. The second piece of advice I'm going to give you is, when you meet the love of your life, when you decide you're going to get married and you start planning that house you're going to build or buy, make sure you factor in a decent doghouse. Because when you get bills like I just got for the trailer, you're going to end up in there. You're going to end up in there a lot, actually, as you get older, I can guarantee you that. So make sure, whatever you do, make sure you factor in a decent doghouse with your house you buy. Well, in case you're wondering, the trailer is just about finished. So the drawbar's new, the winch post is new, the old ladder's been welded back on, that's been welded back on, and my winch and all the bits and pieces are back on there. And got a new gal axle, which had to be custom put together to fit this trailer because I don't have anything here that will fit this. So put these brackets on here, these torsion arms. I think I'd prefer the original ones because they're adjustable. Doesn't look like that's adjustable to me, which is a bit annoying because I was hoping to lower it a bit once I put some light truck tyres back on it rather than these tyres on here which are too wide. With light truck tyres on I could lower it a couple of notches, but it doesn't look like it's adjustable. Anyway, so the hubs were not to Australian standards apparently on here, so had to replace them, and the brakes. So basically it's pretty much been rebuilt. And that cost steel box section 2381, the axle, custom axle 1177, shop supplies 2240, labour 840, 2270, which with the current exchange rate in US dollars is probably about 1630. And after that I decided the wheels were a bit too rusty, so I better get some new gal wheels. So I took my wheels up and got the tyre place to put my tyres on some new gal wheels. There's another few hundred. Millie's just making them nice and pretty, making the tyres nice and pretty. So all up, we're talking about 2500 AU, 2500 Australian. So I don't know, 17, 18 American. There you have it, that's $2.5 grand. I know some people think I'm crazy and I should have just put that towards a new trailer. But the truth is, I'm kind of happy with this trailer. The single axle, I mean, I've got a really tight area to manoeuvre into here, past the carport and down the side of the house here. And a single axle is easier to manoeuvre than a twin axle trailer. Yeah. And I mean, it tows quite well, this trailer, and it's very low on maintenance generally because you haven't got tons of rollers and stuff on it. So the bearings I've only ever replaced once in 8 years. In other words, I've checked them a couple of times, they're always fine with the bearing buddies on. But realistically, I could have got a new trailer for about probably $8 grand by the time I sort of got it customised and put some rails on it, because these rails are the best money I spent on the boat, I'd say. They just made life so much easier. If I got a new trailer, I'd definitely be putting rails on it like that. I mean, this boat's got a lot of windage, and I mean, it's easy to retrieve on a calm day with not much wind, not much current. But if the wind's out, you've got a crosswind, it can be hell to retrieve if you don't have a pontoon for the ramp. Anyway, so we'll put those wheels back on shortly, and then I'm just waiting for some
Myriad buddies to come.
Trailer's finally ready to go, so I've come out to pack the boat up. I know most people probably set the boat up and pack it up at the ramp, but I find that packing it up on the water, if I've got the time, is a much better way to go. I mean, I don't know, something about just being on the water that's kind of still in that messing about with boats kind of thing. But if you're at the ramp, and which is often a zoo or a nut house, with people trying to hurry you up, because boat ramps are not always a fun place to be anyway. You know, I mean, it's quiet now because it's during the week, but being on the water and packing up the boat is, for some reason, it's more of a messing about with boats thing, whereas if you do it at the ramp, it's just straight work. And that is the worst part of a trailer sailor, setting up and packing up for sure. So if you can make it a bit more sort of acceptable, packing up, yeah, just do it on the water. The only real problem is, of course, you can drop things over the side. Looks like some rain coming, so I think I better get a move on. Jasper was asking me about my fuel tanks. When I bought this boat, it just had a 6-gallon tank in each side. These Evinrude Johnson ones, which are great tanks. I think they're made in Canada. Good quality tanks. They're obviously fairly old, these ones. But I soon realised that having 2 6-gallon tanks is just not enough. It's all right if you boat around your local area and you don't really go very far. But if you want to do any kind of cruise, then you need more than 12 gallons of fuel. Most people, it seems, put those big 12-gallon tanks in that fit in there perfectly. I think that's what Macgregor probably designed that locker shape like that for, because those 12-gallon ones fit in there perfectly. But for me, in my experience, that's just not the way to go, because around here and a lot of the places I cruise, or a lot of places we want to cruise later, there's not fuel docks every 5 minutes. It's just you have to stop sometimes and go ashore with a fuel tank. And of course, with the big 12-gallon ones, that's a major hassle. So my next thing was what sort of tanks, because these ones are great, but when you stick them, because obviously they were around the other way, there was one on each side originally, but when you stick them around that way, they stick out a little bit, although not really, it doesn't really cause a problem. But these ones, excuse the mess, the boat's been out here for a month now, and these ones are not good quality. These ones are made in Italy. Not that there's anything wrong with made in Italy, but obviously this factory is not real big on making a quality product. These fuel gauges are pathetic. The fuel gauges are useless. You can tell these tiny little plastic things. They're not, fittings and everything. It's just not a quality tank. You can tell. In fact, when you hold it by the handle, if it's got fuel in it, fuel will leak out of the fuel gauge and everything. But by and large, I haven't had a problem with them. They work fine to me, so I'm fairly happy with them, even though they're not the greatest quality. They do the job. Okay, it's about 10 minutes so far. Now comes the worst bit, getting the forestay pin undone. That is the biggest pain. Comes the rain. Yeah, getting the forestay pin undone is the only real hassle with packing up the boat. It's pretty simple. 10 minutes or maybe 11 minutes so far. So here we go, getting the mast down. Rain, hopefully it's just a shower. The rain's stopped for a bit, so I've just let the camera dry out, and I've just put the winch away while the camera's drying out, and now I'm going to pack up the rest of the mast here. Because I've got the solar panel there, it can be a bit of a pain with the shrouds getting caught on the solar panel and that, which is why having those quick release T-pins on the spreaders makes it a bit easier. Okay, it's time to be honest why it's not always a good idea to pack up on the water, because when you drop things over the side, they kind of go in the water rather than just on the ground at the boat ramp. And unfortunately, that's what's just happened. I've just lost my the mast pin. For stepping the mast, I've just lost my pin. I've dropped it. I've just dropped my pin in the centerboard case. It's gone straight in the water. And I don't have a spare one. And it's too much hassle to go and chase around for a stainless bolt like that. So I think I'm going to have to go for a bit of a swim in there, which I don't really like doing because it's murky water and it's infested with bull sharks. Some of the bull sharks they pull up on the ramp over there it's quite scary. So maybe I shouldn't be thinking about that right now, because I'm just about to get in that water and find the pin, hopefully. It means I'll have to go right down to the bottom, and I'll just have to go like 2 inches from the bottom because visibility is nil. If I don't come back up, call the police, call me wife. Nah, just no luck. Zero. Just no luck. Zero visibility down there. I just can't see anything. And it's a little bit freaky down there, to be honest. Yeah. Now, when I was 11 years old, I used to swim across all the canals on the Gold Coast. Didn't have a worry in the world. But now, I guess I've got a bit more sense. Because this water is infested with bull sharks, unfortunately. And I'm not the Steve Irwin kind of a guy when it comes to murky water. In fact, I've got a bit of a phobia of murky water. One more go. Okay, when you hear something splash near you, chuck another one up for Davy Jones. You can keep the bolt, mate. all good. I winched it up the last bit, so.
That's what you know, mate. Going on going. Imagine that at 30 odds.
Yeah, no, it's impossible. Jeez, we've got plenty of bananas on the go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got at least 6 bunches on the go at the moment. That's good. Oh, look at those people, they're having it off. Oh jeez, it's hot. Wouldn't mind going for a sail. Yeah.